was invited here to talk to you about budgeting. How about that? Budgeting and testing and implementation. That's what I have here. Budget. Right? So let me break it down for you. Right? Here's what we're going to do. Right? So real quick, I'm Professor Ray Jones. Right? I'm actually not a finance professor. I'm not an accounting professor. Right? I'm not a testing and implementation professor. I don't know what to call that. Right? Quality assurance. Right? I'm actually a management professor. I'm a management professor. Right? And you know who I work with? Let me tell you who I work with. Right? I work with people who sit in these seats, right? Who I'm out there working with real-world clients, like this guy right here, he's on a slide. He's on a slide that I'd use in a thing in a minute, right? They work with real-world clients, right? And when they work with real-world clients, and when I start talking to them about budget, when I start talking to them about testing and implementation, and then maybe we might even get to, depending on how far this goes, a little topic called stewardship. Right? When we talk about budgeting and implementation here, right? Oh, it's exciting because we're going to do this to deliver value to clients. Right? So I'm going to talk to you people. Right? I'm going to talk to you people because I see you as, there's a good chance, right, depending on if you have a great impression here and this is something you might want to do, right? You may end up in these seats working with me, right, and for clients like this guy right here. Right? So if I'm going to talk to you about budgeting and implementation, right, yeah, I'll make reference to this in a few minutes. Right? This is a beautiful budget, by the way. It is nice. And actually, one of my student teams did this, and I'm gonna give them some. I'm excited for it. Right? But there's also some challenges, some flaws to that, and we'll talk about those as well. But I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to talk to you. You can go other places to hear about all of the the great ways to actually learn how to do this appropriately and at a high level, and it's something you're not going to do in an hour and a half anyway. Right? But for an hour and a half, let me tell you what we're going to talk about, right? Which is that we do things like budgeting, right? And we talk about a process for implementation and testing and feedback and things like that, right? Because we want to, first of all, right, deliver something of value to our clients, right, when they want to work with us. Because that's why we do this. This is why you have these types of things here. This is when you go in, you talk to people from finance, you talk to people from accounting, right? We're doing this work to create value from organizations, and that's what's exciting, right? And it's also something that we do, right, to help the people that we work with on our teams, right? Because a good budget, right, and a great implementation process, testing process, right, that involves input from the people that do the work, input from the people that are going to benefit from this, right? That's the thing that's going to take us to the next level, right? So, if you think I'm a little bit over the top, and I am, right, it's because I need you here, right? I need you to be strong teammates, right? And I need you to want to deliver to your client, right? Because if we don't, and if we don't have a strong attention to budgeting and implementation, we're in trouble, right? So, I need your attention here. I want us to push this to the next level, right? And there's going to be a couple of these you're going to see. I'm getting fired up on about 3 examples, right? With budgeting and implementation because it makes me angry, right? Oh, and by the way, I'm going to sell you on this idea. You know how you do this well? Solid research, right? Some foresight in terms of thinking about how things are going to go in the future for your client, for your team, for your teammates, for you, right? For the events you want to run, the projects you want to do, right? And transparency. Transparency. Putting everything on the table, what we're going to do moving forward. Ready? Let's get it done, okay? So, if I'm talking to you about budgeting, right? Again, research, foresight. I'm going to talk a little about a thing called economies of scale, right? Which, you may have heard that term at one point in life or something like that. It has a very specific thing that we do when we work with clients, we work with the team, we work on a project, and try to push that up to the next level and do something better, okay? But, make no mistake, okay? When I get a team of 4 or 5 of you to go in and to work for a client like this, right, you know what I want, don't you, right? You know what I want? I want you to have a great experience. I want you to have the resources that are connected to you. And then I want you to deliver something of value to this client, right? That's our goal. It's called shared value, right? So we learn budgeting and finance and how to test things and how to do things like that, right? Because it creates this possibility. So, walk me through a couple of these. Walk with me in a few of these. Oh, here we go. Right? You're going to walk me through this. You're going to help me understand how challenging this was. We're going to walk through this together. Right? So, here we go. First one. Budgeting go wrong on the research side. Right? Now, again, I know you haven't gone in before today and done some sophisticated research on budgeting, right? Like nobody prepared a spreadsheet. Did you prepare? Where's my spreadsheet? There. Yeah.
Maybe when I was older, they
Yeah, he's looking for it. Okay? There's no spreadsheet in there. There's no spreadsheet in there. Okay? But let me tell you something. People in this room, you're going to be able to, through your attention to logic, through your attention to detail, figure out maybe what we should have been doing, right, when we were trying to do this ambitious project, which was not done well, and did not have strong attention to budget, and had flaws on the research side. Okay? So, anybody? CBS. Can I get somebody in the room? What is CBS? Thank you. Who said network? You got me. I like that. You told me it's a network, meaning it is a... Yeah, it's a television network. Okay? So it's a commercial network, right? Like the shows that appear on CBS, we don't get those for free, right?
Nope.
That's right. We got to... They own those shows, right? Including, I don't know if you can see this because I just found a little picture of it. Anybody 60 Minutes? Right?
Yeah.
60 Minutes is... What's that?
An hour?
An hour. Okay. This guy. He'll stand up. He's right on it. 60 Minutes, though. Right? What kind of stuff's on 60 Minutes? What are they talking about? Interviews from
People. Famous people.
Celebrities. Porn figures.
Global stuff.
Is there any? Is there anything you think could be relevant within the school in which you are currently sitting? Anybody?
Yeah.
Alumni.
Am I on there? Hopefully not. If I was on there, it would be a bad thing, right? Like, you want me on there, right? Okay, let's see alumni. Right? They have business topics on there. So they have these 60-minute videos, right? They're not 60 minutes, they're shows, right? In which, like, they have, you know, a smoking scandal, or there'll be some Wall Street scandal, or something like that, right? So, right, and this is actually a professor. This is not even, I'm not even blaming the students. We're actually aren't even students to blame on this one yet. The professor that we were working with, who wanted to start, he wanted to take our ethics program and make it into the place where you go, right, to get access to these videos, right? It'd be great because they have all these interesting ethics videos. Again, smoking, what happens on Wall Street with bribes, and all that kind of stuff like that, right? So he wanted Pitt to become a repository for ethics videos for 60 Minutes and places like that on CBS, right? Which, as you pointed out, right, who owns that content? You said it. You said it before. The network owns the content. CBS is the owner. Ray Jones and that professor would say anything. We don't know. We don't own that content. They own that content. So I'll find it. We were going to do this. And just to point this out, we started talking about this in January of 2003, right? And we kept talking about it all the way through December 2006. Anybody, how many months is that? I honestly don't even know. Give me the right answer. How many months is that? Is that 36 months? That's a lot of months, right? You know what? It's 36 months we talked about this, right? So how about this, right? We started with this in January 2003, right? We're going to go out here, we're going to get these videos, we're going to put them out there, right? We are going to sell 1,000 videos per month, and again, this is to other colleges and universities all throughout the country who want access to these videos, and we're going to put case studies around them and commentaries from experts and stuff like that. Okay? Yeah, $50 a video, we're going to sell it. Okay? Yeah, and I remember this. So $50,000 in revenue. That's nice, by the way. Anybody? $50,000 in revenue. Yeah, you like it? Right? Look at this guy. He likes it. Look at the check over there. Right? You write me a check? Where's my $50,000? Yeah.
Those videos? Absolutely.
Absolutely. Right? And then this was the best. Here's our expenses, people. $10,000 director fee, meaning paying the professor who's coming up with the idea behind this. Right? Annual profit, $40,000. Right? This is great, right? We're good now. Why? What? You see a flaw there? Give me a flaw. Yeah. Right? Are there a couple other costs? Walk me through these. Right? I know you're not lawyers or expert accountants. Walk me through some of these costs. What do you have? Walk me through one of them.
It's pretty much.
Give me one. What are the? Or any ones that is. Okay. So what does licensing mean?
Get a license.
Meaning?
If you're any program on the TV, you gotta have a license for it.
So remember, license in this case, right? You said it before. Who owns those videos? The network owns the videos. So if Ray Jones, Jim Earl, whoever that is, want to sell those videos for $50 a pop, we have to pay a licensing fee to CBS. They're not going to go and just give us the video that we can go and sell in their name. We had no attention to licensing costs. We had no research behind it. We had no discussion of it. It was just kind of like the idea, well, they'll do that for us because we're a university and this is a win-win for them. Is it a win-win for them? Anybody? How about lawyers? Give me something on lawyers. Wait, how much does it cost to get lawyers to help you do something like this? A lot of money.
10 grand just to talk.
Probably 10 grand just to talk, right? Probably just to talk, much less to set up the licensing agreement, to set up how we're going to do this, right? This was the best part about it, though. This was the one that killed me, right? So it's only going to cost us $10,000 to run the program, which is to pay the director. Okay?
But you forgot something. You don't have any overhead expenses on it. And you
That's what I mean.
You don't
So
have any
this
of
is
that.
it. So what about this? So this was what I'm going to ask you people. Tell me this, right? Who is going to send out these videos?
CBS.
CBS isn't going to send them out. They're not sending out these videos.
We are.
Why would they send them out? We are meaning us, the Berg Center. The Berg Center is going to send out these videos. Right? Does that mean I'm going to sit in a mailroom or something like that? Right? It wouldn't be very efficient. Right? So we have to pay people to do that. We have to pay for mailing costs, all those kinds of things. Right? And then, this is my other thing. This is where I do get mad at my team sometimes. Anybody, where did that 1,000 come from? Where did that 1,000 come from? 1,000 people, 1,000 schools per year are going to pay $50 for this. How do we know that?
We don't know.
We don't know that. There's no research behind it. Right? And, right, again, there's even more to it. Right? But you can't do a budget with no research, right? And then go in and expect your client, first of all, to get your client to actually support this and to back this and to say and endorse this and say this is what I want to do. Right? But beyond that, right? You can't expect, right, the people you work with and the people who report to you, like me in this case, right? I'm just sitting there every day. I don't understand it. What about licensing? And how are we going to do it? Focus on the bigger picture. Focus on the bigger picture. Right? You have to do your research for this, right? Or otherwise, you waste, what did you say, 36 months, right? 36 months with no research is just you sitting in a room, right? Not even putting together a decent budget, right? That is not acceptable. That is not acceptable for your client. It's not a good use of your team's time, right? And you end up spending time in doing this. And then how about this? This is the bottom line. How many videos did we sell?
Well, we don't know. You haven't sold any.
You tell me. Make a prediction. Guess. How many videos did we sell? Who said 0?
I did.
You're right. This is why I get fired up, right? This is why I get fired up. I gotta work with my team. I gotta get people on board. I gotta get people to do research, right? We can't sell anything. We can't go in, right, when we're doing a budget to do that, right? Now help me. How about this one?
Broke it down.
What's that?
Broke it down into smaller. You got all.
Here's the studios of WXPI. Channel 11 here in
I'm just dumping everything on this
Pittsburgh. It's actually my first time doing a TV station. This is pretty cool. It's gonna be interesting. This is one of our last stops before we head home. This is one of our last stops.
Yeah.
Since we're going back to university, and then we're gonna have like one last presentation thing to wrap up. Never heading
One
home.
more presentation?
I think so. After this, yeah. I'm not hungry at all. Right.
buy one?
No.
Hey, Mr. Martin, do you have bags ready? I'm sorry? Is there bags ready up there?
Yeah, there's one. Go into the one.
Okay.
Hey, you want to take that in?
Yeah, sure. Just leave it up there. I'll grab it on the way out.
Right here for you, all right?
Give him that right here. This is the top. Here you go, Tom. Thank you.
And I looked in one of the bags that was filled with
It radiated diabetes.
Oh my gosh, look at the newsstand.
He's carrying a purse.
Man purse?
Yes, work it.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Carry that man purse.
Go ahead.
I mean, what did you expect? It's an ABC affiliate. It's an NBC affiliate. ABC? NBC.
Can't hear it. She wants her drunk back.
Nah, it's got that whole Spectrum GIF. That's ABC.
Can I give them to you and you walk by?
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, you gotta
shake
snap
each
her
other's
up
hand.
about it. What's up, Thompson?
I carry. You want me to carry?
What?
What? Thompson!
Who is that?
Come on, Steven. Nice job.
It's gonna mess up one more.
Yep, it is still snowing out here. This is nice. Snow at the beginning of April, somewhere we've never been before. Isn't that wonderful? I'm having. Where's the dump here real quick? Oh no, Piggy.
We know you guys from Baltimore will send out a big cheer for our Pittsburgh Steelers, right?
Yeah,
baby, yeah. Hey, my name is Rick Earl, and I'm a reporter here at Channel 11. This is the NBC affiliate in Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh's a similar market to Baltimore. There are 3 TV stations. We're about the same size. We're a little bigger than Baltimore market size-wise. It's based on population, so we're a little bigger than they are. But we have 3 TV stations. Of course, the NBC affiliate, there's a CBS affiliate, which was the first TV station in the country. KDKA is downtown. And then WTAE is on the other side of town. They're the ABC affiliate. But this is where we do our work. This building is about 7 years old. For more than 60 years, we were at a building about a mile as the crow flies from here on top of a hill over in that direction. It's called Fine View. It has a great view of the city. We were up on top of the hill. We had a great overlook of the city. But the building was in bad shape. Every time it would rain, water would pour through the window where I worked, and my desk would get flooded. So they thought about renovating that building, but they decided that they would build a brand new station. And this is what they built. And as you can see from the outside, it's a beautiful building, and inside it's even better. I like to tell people this is probably, if not the best, one of the best local TV stations in the country in terms of the appearance and the look. And I think in terms of what we produce here as well. You'll go nowhere else in the country and find a facility like this. We have job candidates come in, and they come in here and they're like, man, this is unbelievable, sign me up. So it's a great building, it's a fantastic facility, and you'll notice out on the left there, we have a helicopter pad, we have a chopper flies right in here, and he helps us cover the news on a daily basis. Today's a pretty big news day because we had the attacks and the missiles in Syria that we fired over there, so that was a big news day. Neil Gorsuch was just approved as the Supreme Court Justice, so it's a pretty happening news today. And also locally, it's opening day for the Pittsburgh Pirates, so that's a big deal too. They're playing right now as we speak, and 30-degree weather out there, which is crazy, but they're playing, so it's a pretty big day. I'm today working on a story about, we've had a serious problem with heroin overdoses in Allegheny County, which is the Pittsburgh region. And I'm working on a story about that. We had a former coach for the Wheeling Nailers, which is the farm team of the Pittsburgh Penguins, and he was found dead last night of a heroin overdose in the city of Pittsburgh. And he was a coach, and he played in the NHL as well. So I'm working on a story on that tonight. We've interviewed one of his, a guy who played with him in the NHL. And so I'll be doing that, putting that together for the news tonight at 5 and 6. So I originally grew up in Baltimore suburbs, right where you guys are a big Orioles fan, a big Colts fan prior to, before the Colts left. But I grew up in Baltimore. I went to Woodlawn High School, so just around the corner from you guys. I played a lot of baseball down in Lansdowne with some guys from Lansdowne High School. So, this is like a homecoming for me. So I welcome you guys here. We're glad to have you. So we're going to take a quick tour through the station, then we'll get you back over to Pitt because I know you got a pretty packed schedule. Hope you guys are having a great time in Pittsburgh and seeing a lot of stuff the University of Pitt's really neat over there too. And I hope Jim took good care of you over there. He's a good guy. So we'll get up as a group. This is a pretty good time because we just finished the noon news, so everything's pretty slow. It doesn't ramp up until about 5 o'clock again. When we do the news, we do 3 or 4 hours in the morning, then we do a show from noon to 1, and then we do a show from 5 to 6:30. It's all done in the studio out there, and I'll show you all of that as well, where we do it. So if you guys want to gather, if you have anybody any questions? Okay, you might ask questions throughout the tour, but feel free to ask questions, and I'll go to the front and we'll get you guys out of here and show you how it works.
My chair wouldn't go anymore. I'm really trying.
Kind of keep close together.
Sorry, Bingo. I don't want to get in your face.
But what we'll do is we'll go out in the newsroom. I'll take you to the newsroom. Then we'll go to the studio. Then we'll go out and look at the live trucks and we'll go out.
I'm sorry.
We'll go ahead and see here. We'll be back in a little bit to show you the tour of the new XPI Channel 11 in Pittsburgh.
We're a Bengal right there.
Okay, guys. So this is the newsroom right here. This big facility where you could actually play like a football game here if there weren't all these desks out here. This is the newsroom. That big area up in the middle of the newsroom right there that has the rim around it, that's the assignment desk. Those are the people who generate and track all of the stories that we cover on a daily basis. You'll look to this room off to the right. This is the news conference room. Those are all the managers right there. Those are all my bosses right there. And they're plotting, I think they're plotting maybe what we're doing today, or they might be doing some budget stuff. There's some things going on in terms of getting the budget ready for next year and capital expenditures and so forth. So they're in a meeting right there in the conference room. On this side, my right or left, would be promotions. This is where they come up with all those slick promos that run on TV promoting the newscast and the anchors and the stories that are going to run. It's creative services. So a lot of people just see the people on TV and think that's it. Well, there's 200 people who work in this building, so there's a lot more than 15 or 16 or 17 people you see on TV every day. So that will go the same for your stations in Baltimore as well. So we'll come down here. Small wins. If you guys want to stop right here and we get everybody up in this area, it's a pretty good vantage point from here. You guys can move up a little so your buddies in the back can get in. We can come up here. Come up a little further, yeah. And this right here is a live location, which oftentimes we'll have reporters in the newsroom, and they'll sit at that desk right there and talk to this camera right here. So it's a live location that we can utilize during the newscast. Now the desks to the right are where the anchors sit, and this area is the anchors. In the middle area right there is the producers, and then on the far side, all the way up the far side, are reporters sit up there. But it's a vast newsroom. A lot of newsrooms you go to, even in Baltimore, when you go to some of the newsrooms there, at a large market like that, they're small. You go in there. This is just. When I saw this the first time I came in here, I said, "Man, this is tremendous."
It's almost like an old newspaper newsroom.
Yeah. Everybody out here on the main floor. And we used to have the studios right over here to my left. We used to have this open. It used to be an open screen, and you could shoot back and see the newsroom. But they decided to close it off. They built a new set about a year ago. So I'll take you out there to see that as well. So, yeah, it's pretty neat. It's a great facility. And you'll notice we have all the TV monitors here so we can monitor the other channels. What we also do here, that middle TV right up there is tracking internet traffic on our website. Facebook and Twitter. So that's very important this day and age. You know, the social media has just gone crazy. So and we're heavily involved in it. We have people sitting in this first pod here beyond this anchor desk, and all they do is social media, using the internet, web stuff, Twitter and Facebook. So, and they're trying to teach people to get them to watch the news at 5 o'clock. So they're very aggressive in that effort.
So it's all about ratings.
Yeah, it's all about ratings. Mm-hmm. It's all about trying to generate ratings. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep, that thing. The information comes right up here. There's a teleprompter right here, and the information will scroll through. You hope the teleprompter operator keeps up with you. Sometimes they don't, and that can really screw you up. but the words roll right up there. Yeah, that's exactly right. So we can take it right back out here. It's kind of like makes like a circle around here. So sometimes people walk around here if the weather's bad. Some of the awards stations won over the years. Yeah.
The award night pick. The award of the years. Award night picks.
Get out the shot, dude.
New studio. I didn't get a picture of Magic like that. Brief clip of it. Welcome back.
Right here. This is where they control what goes out over the TV station. They have the final say right there. We have somebody sitting in that chair 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They control what goes out over the air. So this is basically the nerve center, the hub of the TV station right here. And as you can see, they got a lot of TV monitors and computers.
So they kind of make sure nothing goes out.
Yep, they make sure that nothing goes out that shouldn't, and that what's going out is good, and there's no drop in signal, or there's nothing gets cut off. You know? So they basically monitor everything that we send out. So this is master control right here. This is the nerve center of the TV station. So, and you can see that, like that guy sitting there. I mean, there'll be somebody, like I said, every hour, every day, somebody's sitting there. So it's a pretty important job right here. And this to the right is a control room for the Studio B. We have two studios. Studio A does the news. Studio B is a production studio where they shoot commercials and they do talk shows. And this is the control room for the second studio, Studio B. So when there's a show going on in there, you'll have a producer sitting here and a director, and they monitor and they punch the right camera buttons and make sure that the videotape rolls and everything. So this is for the Studio B control. Yeah. And there's a couple guys sitting in there working today. And this to the left, guys, is engineering. There's just some desks back there, and there's a lot of wires and intricate tools and electronics to the left back there behind that wall. It's kind of tight back there, so we'll avoid that area. But that's where they repair all the equipment when it goes bad. They go down to engineering and they take care of everything. If satellite dishes drop or fall out, they'll go out and repair those. So these guys are a pretty crucial part to the TV studio because they keep us on the air and keep everything going. So that would be engineering. So and we'll take it right here. Yeah, it's a coffee room. Yeah, that's important.
With a camera, I mean, a screen there.
If I need to use a restroom, there's one here, one here. That's right. We're going to go. This is that Studio B. We're going to go in here. We'll take a look at this. I don't think anything's going on in here right now, but this is a production studio we use again for a couple talk shows that we produce, and then also for shooting commercials. And I think there's a church service here on a Sunday too that they shoot it during the week and then they air it. But they have like a setup here. But you guys can come and take a look at the studio here. Yeah, the white wall there is new. Oops. Are you guys shooting? Are you good? Okay. All right. Okay. These are high school students from Baltimore.
Baltimore! Welcome, guys. Welcome.
I told us to give Big Pittsburgh Steelers a shout out.
Yes. We got a lot of great things going on.
Yes. This is, like I said, Studio B. Looks like we got Father Dean over there. Ready to say that?
Filming a commercial for the pro wrestling organization.
Oh, are you guys?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. So, if you guys look over here, this white wall, this is new. We shoot a lot of commercials over here. The production, the promotions people use this creative services to shoot commercials. It's really cool. They can do anything behind it. They put anything behind it. And, they utilize it a great deal in shooting commercials. We've really branched out. We didn't used to shoot a lot of commercials, but now we started a studio called Studio 11, and they shoot commercials. And they do a lot of work here, and they needed this white background so they could produce these commercials so people could stand in front of it, and then behind it they can put anything on that white background. And so that's a really, this is relatively new too. This will just come in. And then over here is a set for, I think it's Night Talk. We do a show every night, and that's Night Talk right there. Is the set, and these are the cameras. Of course, they're robotic cameras. They're all controlled by one person who sits over there at that, where Ronell is over there. Yeah. So they're all robotic. And then this is kind of this screen right here. The green screen is similar to the white one, but of course a lot smaller. Can't do as much. There's a robotic camera they're moving right there. Yeah, watch out. Thanks, Ronell. Yeah, he's moving and showing us out. I'm sure it's real expensive. See how he controls it? Right now he's got a little toggle switch, and he can move all three of them.
It's a video game.
Yeah. He can zoom it in and focus and everything. Huh? So it's really cool.
That'd be cool.
I don't know if there's any script in that prompter.
That'd be cool.
I don't think there is.
No, he was on his side. He's like,
You guys really shoot the commercial? It's funny because they all work.
This isn't the normal awesome.
They all work in different departments.
Yeah.
Dean's a sports producer. Jordan is an editor, and then Ronell works in the studio. So they're all wearing different hats. It's great.
Yeah, well, prospectively and theoretically too.
That's right.
Must be
You
a
guys are
religious
great,
show.
man. All right, let's go. We'll go over to the new studio now. Thanks, guys. Appreciate
Thanks, guys.
it.
Welcome. Thanks for coming, guys. Thanks for coming. Root for the Pirates.
This is probably composed the music, I'm guessing. That's amazing.
Big morning show. Really big door. Good morning.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Tell us barn doors.
Get out of bed with that.
Nice job.
Let's see that. You go right there.
Hey guys, at the main station, I told you about, it was about a mile from here, 1957. They brought these doors over from the old station to put them up, so it's really cool. Hey, this is the new studio. It's a little more crowded than that studio, so we're going to go in. Be kind of careful. Watch for any cables on the floor. We'll try to walk through it. I don't think we're doing anything in here now, so we should have pretty free reign.
Yeah.
96.
Proper.
Great.
I love this.
Oh my gosh, back there. Thanks, Peter.
Thank you, Hater.
Peter, I said Peter. I meant Cole. Oh, that's Cole.
Oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
Love this. This is awesome.
Oh, you're hot.
Wow.
Just so they can see what's line down. See if there's any change. Coverage you can count on. Yeah. Yeah. Guys, this is the main news studio. And our main anchors, say for 5 and 6, will sit in those 2 chairs right there. And then the weather guy over here, this is his area right here. And then in the morning, we also have traffic. We have a traffic reporter who does traffic in this area as well, in addition to the weather. But this is the main studio. They put in this new set probably about maybe 1.5 years, 2 years ago. Like I told you before, it used to be open. They used to have an open shot, but they decided to close it. The open shot would show the newsroom, and you could see people working behind it during the newscast, but they decided to close it. And that's a monitor right there. They can put anything in that monitor. It's a huge monitor that runs the entire length of that wall. So they can put anything behind it, like a shot of the city or a shot of PNC Park or whatever. They can put in that monitor, and they can change the video as well. And all these other monitors light up as well, and they can put images in those and video as well. This is a desk right here where a lot of times we'll have reporters who will do stories in the studio, and the anchors will be here, and they'll say, Rick Earl joins us live with that story. Rick, what do you got? And I'll be standing at that desk, and I'll look in one of these cameras. Of course, the cameras will be up here. One will be pointed over there, and then you'll probably have 1 or 2 pointed in this direction. And they're robotic cameras again, and they're controlled all by a person that sits over there with that toggle switch you see at the desk right there. In addition to that, we have the boom camera, which looks pretty good too. We use that a lot for like going into commercials or coming back from commercials, and it creates a pretty neat effect, like you're flying through the air. So that's the boom camera that we use up there. And you'll notice this set, it's got the stairway to nowhere, so it looks like it's it gives it that perspective. There's nothing up there, and then the door to nowhere as well. And then this floor is specially painted too for some reflective, character that it uses when the lights hit it. Yeah, so it looks pretty cool when the anchors are standing out on the floor if they have to get up and move around. And then there's another area right there with that green screen. That's where they'll do the weather. The weather forecaster will stand there, and the map will be up behind him. And then this monitor right here is also utilized for shots as well. They'll have a camera, and somebody will see that black piece of tape right there. The reporter or anchor will stand right there, and they'll have something in that monitor. So there's a number of different shots you can utilize as you're doing the newscast. So that's up to the producer to script that all out. It's a big task, but they got to figure out what shots they want to use and how to integrate it all together in a nice, concise newscast. So yeah, it's pretty impressive if you've never been in a TV station. And of course, tremendous amount of lighting. And lighting is everything, man. Lighting can be the difference between looking good or looking bad. So you really need good lights to really bring out features and stuff. So but this is where it happens every day. And like you'll come in here at 5 o'clock, this place is going crazy. It's fast-paced, high energy.
How long does it take for you guys to prep? You've got the 5 o'clock news, right? And people come in here, and
right.
How long do they spend getting ready? Obviously.
Well, the anchors that do like 5, 6, 10, and 11, they work from about 3 to 11:30. So they'll come in about 3 and they'll start reading their scripts. But the people who work during the day, like myself, we work 9 to 6. 9 to 6:30, depending on what time we're in and out of the show. And the producers and reporters, the writers do the same thing. So they're out there. They start about 9 o'clock. Every morning at 9:15, there's an editorial meeting in that news conference room where you saw the people gathered. And that's where they plan out the day, what stories everybody will cover. And the reporters have to come to the meeting with an idea. So you have to have ideas.
You
have to get your own ideas, yeah. And if you don't have ideas, they frown upon that. So they want every reporter to come in with a couple story ideas every day.
That's what you're really good at.
Yeah, that's what digging stories, and it's helped. I've been here 25 years, so I have a lot of sources and contacts, and I don't really have to work as hard because they call me with stories. So it's nice. I get a lot of calls about stories, and that helps out, and they like that because they know the stories that I get nobody else is going to have.
Yeah.
So, and that's the one thing they want. They want that competitive edge. When you're talking in this market, it's extraordinarily close. It's the closest ratings TV market in the country, in the entire country. A percentage point can separate us, like a 0.1 or 0.2 can separate us from KDK and TAE on any given day. So all 3 stations are extraordinarily close in ratings here. So they're looking for any way, any avenue we can get ahead, an edge to get ahead, yeah. So nowhere else in the country will you find the ratings this close between all 3 stations. A lot of markets that I've worked in the past have a dominant station, and then you have a couple, competing for second and third. You go to Philadelphia, for instance, over in Philadelphia, the ABC affiliate, PVI, is extraordinarily strong. They've been that way for years. The other two stations just kind of lag behind and try to, pick up the...
What's Bowman? Do you know offhand?
I don't know who's... when I was growing up in Baltimore, of course, WJZ was the dominant station because they had Jerry Turner and Al Sanders with the anchors. That's before your time. You guys probably remember them. What's that?
You got that one heavyset guy.
At Jay-Z? Yeah, I don't know who it is now. But I think Jay-Z for years was dominant #1, and then MAR and BAL fought behind. But I'm not sure now. I think MAR is still lagging, but I think BAL and Jay-Z are pretty... BAL's pretty competitive now. They've really come up in the ratings.
They have the radio, too.
They have the radio as well, too, yeah. And, it's a good station. It's BAL's owned by Hearst, which is Channel 4 here is owned by Hearst. And then WJZ's owned by, I believe CBS. And then KDK here in Pittsburgh is owned by CBS too. So a lot of them, ownership. And our company's owned by Cox Communications, which is based in Atlanta, Georgia. And their flagship station is WSB TV, and they're dominant #1 in their market in Atlanta. And then they also own the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. We own about 100 or so newspapers, 100 or so TV radio stations, probably about 10 TV stations. We're also very heavily involved in cable companies. We own a bunch of cable companies out west and in the southwest, and that's a big industry. And we've branched out during the last decade or so, and we've gotten really active in auto auctions. We own Mannheim Auto Auctions, which they do all the car trading, and we own Autotrader.com too. So the company is very diversified in its portfolio, and I think that's one of the reasons we've been so successful and been able to make some money. We have 65,000 employees nationwide, so our company does, and it's based in Atlanta. So yeah.
Both Mannheims in Pennsylvania or just one?
Both of them.
Wow.
Yeah, we own all Mannheim. We own Mannheim.
Mannheim is yours?
Yeah, it's ours. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. It's a big deal.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. Yeah. We used to own Value Pack too, which was a coupon system, and you used to get them in the mail. We just sold that, but we have a production company as well that does some studio productions out in Hollywood as well. So yeah.
News coverage is great and all, but where do you film the lottery drawing at?
That's done in Harrisburg, and we cover it on it's on our air too. We got it for years. It was on a competing station. We just lured it away a couple years ago. That's a great question, and it was good to get the lottery drawing because Pittsburgh is traditionally an older demographic, the older news viewers here, and they like the lottery, man. They want to watch the lottery, so it was good for us to get it. But in ratings, the ratings that we look at on a daily basis, when I was telling you how competitive it is, we only look at ratings for men and women between the ages of 25 and 54. That's all we care about. We don't care about anybody else when we look at the ratings because that's how they sell it. That's how the sales department sells it because they have the most disposable income, and we're trying to hit people between 25 and 54. That's all we care about. Anybody older, don't care about it. Anybody younger, don't care about it. So, you're out.
Don't care about us. What a shame.
I'm close enough. I'm almost out as well. So. But that tells you a little bit about the TV business. It's a crazy business, and like I said earlier, it's changed a lot with social media. I mean, that's just crazy.
What's your biggest story that you've done or something?
Yeah, the biggest story I've ever probably covered was Flight 93, the crash of Flight 93 for September 11th. Happened about an hour east of here in Somerset County. It was one of the planes that was headed for Washington. It was headed for the White House or the Capitol, and it crashed in a field. That was the passengers on board. Todd Beamer and the other passengers were able to wrestle the control from the terrorist, and the terrorist either intentionally crashed or it just crashed during the struggle, and it crashed in a field. I was the first reporter on the scene there, and when I arrived there, the smoke was still billowing up. And I got there, and I was there that day, and I stayed there for the next 5 months. I think we covered that story every day for 5 months. That was the biggest story I've ever covered. Was September 11th, and it was funny because I was on the way to New York after the planes had crashed into the trade centers, and they were sending me to New York to cover that. And then I called them back. I said, "Listen, I hear there's a plane crash in southwestern Pennsylvania." And they're like, "Well, where are you hearing it?" And I talked to my contacts at the 911 center in Westmoreland County, which is just east of here, and they said, "Yeah, we had a plane crash in Somerset County up there, and we're not sure if it's connected, but we're sending crews." So I started heading that way. I called my buddies back about 20 minutes later from the 911 center, and the guy I got said, "Hey, listen," he said, "we just took a call from a passenger on that plane." And I said, "How'd that happen?" He said, "It must have pinged off a cell tower and went straight to our our 911 center, and he said there was a guy on board with a bomb strapped around his waist. And he said that they had taken the plane over. So I immediately broadcast that out, and that was the first link that we knew it was related to the other attacks. So, and that was early that morning too, shortly after the plane had crashed. And the guy from 911, I still talk to him today. He's like, man, he said, I probably shouldn't have told you that. And I said, no, you should have. You did the right thing, because we were the first people to broadcast that. And I was doing a live report on the phone as I was driving up to Somerset County to cover it. So that was fascinating. Yeah, it was a crazy story. But then another story up there that's really neat was a couple years later we had miners. We had 8 or 9 miners that were trapped underground for 3 or 4 days, and they couldn't get them out because the tunnels had collapsed, and they wound up drilling a hole down like 1,000 feet, and then they pulled them up through a shaft, and they were all alive. So, and I covered that. That was the Q Creek mine. Was a great story that I covered too. So that was those two were probably the biggest stories. So we'll go out of the studio, and I'm going to take you down to the garage bay and show you the live truck we have out there.
Give me a shot real quick. Getting it behind the desk.
Hey.
All right.
All right. But don't sit down. Don't sit down. No, just I know how to take it.
All right. You got it.
Why are you videoing it? Go ahead. Got it. Quick.
Action news.
Ready? Hold on. Don't move, single.
You look like you're praying. We're live with Matt, WPXI, Pittsburgh.
All right. That's good, Dingle.
I like that Carper's out.
Check it out. See if it looks good.
All right.
You only have so much to work with.
Yep.
You don't want to do so much with the town.
This is where right over here is news control. They take over the newscast and everything runs out of there. That's where all the tapes play, and the director sits there and the producer sits there as well. Behind that wall right there, behind that glass window. Now this area out here was created specifically for the internet. So this is where we do live shots for our website, WPXI.com. And that's the control panel for that. So this stuff here all goes funnels right to the internet. So we've put a lot of emphasis on the web and Facebook and Twitter, so we do a lot of that stuff is done right here in this area. And this was an empty space for a couple of years, maybe 3 or 4 years, and then they just put this in here about a year and a half, 2 years ago to set this little studio up. So we can put an anchor or a recorder right up there, and they can talk and do some stuff. Yeah, we're getting them all. So, and then of course this is the newsroom right here. We're going to go down the hallway here and out into the bay, in the garage bay. Here's the reporter's desk right here.
Did you get eliminated that late the other day? Thought it would be over now. I burned myself at my job, but I don't think because I not really love it. It's just okay. You get paid, so I get paid in free popcorn and food. So I'm not
This is another real important area of the station. This is where the editors, the photographers and editors, once they shoot their story, they'll put their little card, they shoot everything on a little computer card, and then they'll put it into one of these readers right here, and it'll come up on the screen, and this is where they'll edit the story. So this is, the reporter will come back and write the story at his or her computer, and then the editor will take it here and put it all together. The reporter will go back, there's an audio booth in the back, and will track the audio we need, and then the editor will cut that audio, the reporter's audio, in with the interviews that they did that earlier in the day, and they'll put that together into a nice, neat, what we call a package. And that runs about anywhere from a minute to a minute 30. And that's a prepackaged report on the event that you covered that day. And you'll use the interviews and your voice and the pictures, and they'll put that all together. And this is where the editors do that. And this gentleman over here tunes in all the live shots right there. That's a pretty critical job. At 5 o'clock, he's making sure all the live shots are there and everybody's